Formula One grid is set for a shake-up in 2025, and at the heart of it all is Mercedes' quest to find a worthy successor to Lewis Hamilton. With the 7-time world champion heading to Ferrari, the big question now is, who will take up the mantle alongside George Russell? The spotlight is on two thrilling prospects: the rising Formula 2 star Andrea Kimi Antonelli and the established powerhouse Max Verstappen. In a recent interview with Dutch publication Autosport World, Toto Wolff reflected on Hamilton's announcement for leaving the team before the start of the current season, which kicked off a frenzy of speculation and planning for the future of the team. "I have always seen the departure of a driver as a new opportunity for the team. Change is good, you have to embrace it. When Lewis shared the news of his departure, I initially thought, why now, and not halfway through the season? But he found the decision necessary not only for his own progress, but also for that of the team. We are not rushing, we want to wait to make the right decision." Wolff has opted to hold off on making a decision on his replacement for Hamilton for now, waiting to see how highly rated teenager Antonelli develops in Formula 2, while also keeping a watching brief on Verstappen to see if he can be tempted away from his deal with Red Bull, which expires in 2028. In the interview, he very clearly positioned Antonelli as his first option, and Verstappen as an intriguing alternative scenario. Antonelli is impressing in his maiden Formula 2 season, taking sprint victory at Silverstone and feature race glory at the Hungaroring after a difficult start to the year in which his Prema team had been uncompetitive. The Mercedes team principal has made it clear that he wants the best driver possible to partner George Russell next season, though acknowledged Verstappen may not be a realistic target at the moment. That said, given the talent of the 17-year-old, he explained why taking a risk on the Italian may end up not being a bad idea, given the state of Formula One changing regulations in 2026. "The criteria for our next driver are simple. We want the best driver available," Wolff told Autosport World. "At the moment, my first option is Kimi Antonelli. Of course, there are risks. They are not so much in his talent as a driver, but Antonelli would be exposed to the media and to the skill of George Russell, one of the best drivers on the grid. But Kimi has enormous potential. His speed and talent are already at a certain level. He just lacks the experience. But the prospect of Verstappen is of course something that no team would want to miss out on, and Wolff is no different. He, however, remains pragmatic about the chances. An alternative scenario is of course Verstappen, but at the moment that doesn't seem realistic to me. Other drivers would sign a 1 or 2 year contract, which is not enough for us. So I'm happy to take a risk with Antonelli because it's a calculated risk. With the impending regulation changes in 2026, Wolff sees 2025 as a transitional year, ideal for integrating a new driver into the team's dynamics. If you look at the progress of Oscar Piastri, it took him a year and a half to compete for victory at the level of teammate Lando Norris. We want to try and do the same with Kimi. In 2025, with the changes in 2026, we'll be in transition anyway, so it's a good season to form him into our team. In saying that, however, Wolff would all but confirm that the young Italian driver is joining Mercedes for next year, saying, "I will continue to observe the market. I am not sure how things will evolve further at Red Bull, but the alternative option cannot be completely ruled out either." This year's situation at Red Bull contrasts sharply with last year's dominant season. Unrest began within the team even before the current season, and the RB20's performance has since declined. In light of these struggles, Toto Wolff has repeatedly hinted that Mercedes could potentially lure Verstappen with a faster car. Christian Horner, however, has been vocal about his annoyance, urging Wolff to focus on his own team. Historically, Verstappen has brushed off the rumors of him joining the Silver Arrows, emphasizing that having a fast car is his primary concern. Well, the RB20 does not seem to be the fastest car anymore. By no means is it an uncompetitive machine, since Max did secure pole position at Spa by a substantial 0.6 margin, which he later had to give up because of a 10-place grid penalty. But his race pace wasn't really up there with the McLarens and the Mercedes. Though Verstappen's contract with Red Bull runs until the end of 2028, the team's recent struggles have fueled rumors that he might join Mercedes ahead of the major F1 regulation changes in 2026. His heated radio exchange with his race engineer GP during the Hungarian Grand Prix, where Red Bull faced a flawed strategy and didn't have the fastest car, has further ignited speculation about a potential move away from Red Bull, but Verstappen has reiterated his commitment to Red Bull, describing the team as like a second family, thereby dampening Mercedes' hopes of signing him. Over the past few years, Verstappen has solidified his status as one of the greatest drivers in F1 history, winning 3 consecutive world championships and 51 of the last 80 races since 2021. With a 78-point lead over McLaren's Lando Norris, Verstappen is poised to secure a 4th title in the remaining 10 races of the 2024 season. Another title win in 2024 would make Verstappen only the 2nd driver in F1 history to win his first 4 world championships consecutively, following Sebastian Vettel's Red Bull dominance from 2010 to 2013. Reflecting on his time with Red Bull on their in-house Talking Bull podcast, Verstappen highlighted his debut victory at the 2016 Spanish Grand Prix and his first title in 2021 as career highlights. He also expressed his deep affection for the Milton Keynes-based team, saying, "Red Bull definitely feels like a second family, where he can really be myself." Verstappen said, "That first race with the team and the first championship are the highlights. That first race, of course, because I had just been promoted from junior team Toro Rosso. Some people still question whether that was the right decision. Fortunately, that weekend went very well. Of course, I was very happy about that, also for Helmut Marko, Red Bull advisor. He was also very happy, of course, because it was his decision to put me in that car. That first title together, yes, that one was very emotional, especially after such a year, which demanded a lot from everyone. Those are moments I will never forget. But generally also the relationship I have with the team. It definitely feels like a second family. I can really be myself here, and that is also something very important for me. Despite Max confirming his love for his team, it still doesn't mean he will choose to stay with them if they don't give him a car that can win him a championship, a prospect which seems to be growing as time goes on. Mercedes had a rocky start to the year, but has recently bounced back, winning 3 of the last 4 races. Having a good car towards the end of 2024 will be crucial for 2025. Mercedes plans to evolve their current cars for next season while also gearing up for the 2026 regulations. This gives them a strong platform and a competitive edge for 2025. Not only that, but the Mercedes engine for the 2026 regulations is reportedly ahead of Red Bull powertrains in terms of development. Mercedes proved their strength at the start of the turbo hybrid era, so making a gamble on them might prove to be a smart move for any driver. There are also unconfirmed reports that Kimi Antonelli has already signed with Mercedes, with an announcement expected soon. Meanwhile, George Russell's contract ends at the close of 2025. This could give Wolff the option to pair Verstappen alongside Antonelli for the 2026 season. So, while Verstappen remains committed to Red Bull for now, the changing dynamics in Formula One mean that a move to Mercedes isn't entirely off the table. With Toto Wolff weighing the potential of Andrea Kimi Antonelli against the allure of Max Verstappen, Mercedes is carefully plotting its next move. Whether they choose to nurture young talent or aim for an established champion, or both, the future looks exciting for the team. As we gear up for the rest of the 2024 season and beyond, keep an eye on these developments and let us know your thoughts on all of this in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to stay up to date with the latest F1 news.